All right, so single Tim wants to know if he can retire in 31 months. So let me read you what he had written to me. Here's my situation. I just turned 57. I'm single. I've been with the same company since I was a wee whippersnapper. I want to possibly retire in 31 months. All right. I got zero debt, and I spend about $1,500 a month, which covers all my living expenses, including my property tax. We're going to go over his assets here in just a second. I got income, which includes $3,900 a month from my COJ, crappy old job. I'm going to get an 1160 month pension, all right. And right now he's renting some of his land that he's got for. We're not going to include that. The question is the pension. We'll go into this a little bit. I have the option of determining what my pension is based in. Right now, I put it all in the stable value fund. Okay. Right now, I currently live and work about 100 miles away, so I can't build while I'm doing that. But that is something I want to see if I can do. Let's see. My concerns are these: taxes and avoiding the tax torpedo when I take the pension. All right. Health insurance. How should I pay for a possible house build? Not thrilled with a mortgage. Should I change my pension risk level? Okay. He adopted the Bruins and Red Wings, but now he likes a different team. Okay. I wonder what that team is. All right. We're not going to say. All right, so we have old terrible Tim here, single Tim, living in North Carolina. So let's go over this. So real quick, a couple things. I'm confused. He says he has a pension that he can invest, and he's going to get $1,100 a month, basically, as a pension. I don't know. Is there two different things here? I'm not sure. So I ran the numbers showing both. If he has the $1,100 a month pension, that's a big deal. I mean, I know that doesn't sound like much, but that's $1,100 a month pension more than I have because I got no pension. So if he has that, is that separate from he's got about $525 in a deferred account, a 401k type of account. And I get this a lot. People say I got a pension, and it always confuses me. Like, is it a pension that we're going to take annual distribution? Because if you do that, you annuitize it. You take a pension. You don't have access you don't have access to the portfolio once you start taking the pension. If that makes sense. Now, if you roll it to an IRA, you do, but then you don't get the money. So, is it an income stream pension or is it just a deferred account? I'm not sure. So, but he says it where I think it's going to be both an income stream and a deferred account. So we're going to go with that. So let's sorry about the shadows here. All right. So he's got $525 in a 401k / retirement account, and that's a stable value right now. And so stable value, I'm giving him 2%. I'm putting it all in government bonds at 2%. All right. He's also got let's go back to net worth, $67,000 sitting in cash. Now, he has property tax, but I'm assuming that's just on the real estate, the acreage that he owns. So I'm assuming he's renting for $1,000 a month. I couldn't tell. So we're just going to assume he's renting. Now, we are going to assume he's going to go and when he retires, he's going to build a home on this house, on this land that he owns. And I'm going to say it's going to cost him $200,000 with $1,500 a year property tax and $200,000 in homeowners insurance. Now I'm going to say he's going to pay it off in 7 years. So he's going to take a mortgage for 7 years, so he's got no down payment. So that's going to be interesting. Check that out. All right. Now his retirement expenses, $1,500 a month is what he said, which include property tax. We're going to throw the property tax into his mortgage or into his home expense. His retirement health care costs, a big concern of his. I'm saying it's $1,000 a month pre-Medicare. And then after Medicare, it's going to be Part B, Part D, and then $3,500 a month for out-of-pocket copays and things of that nature. Not worried about long-term care costs. He'll just self-insure. And that's pretty much it. So we have, he might need to buy a car at some point, but he didn't say. So that's just going to have to be part of cash flow. All right, so his income, I am going to say he's got the pension. All right, so we're going to say he's got the pension. 13,920 is what it was. He'll take that when he retires. There's no increase and no survivor. All right, I assumed his Social Security is about $2,000 a month because his salary is about $47,000 a year. So I'm just making an assumption that Social Security about $2,000 a month at his full retirement age. And that's pretty much it, man. And then his pre-retirement expenses are $2,000, which is 33% more than what he said. I always like to round up just in case. And we're going to have him live until he's 90. All right, and again, we're going to have him retiring at 60 is what we're going to have him retire. So August of 2023 is when he's going to retire. All right, so let's see what we got here. We're gonna start with the retirement scenario, and it'll look pretty good for him. Yeah, so let's go down to, hold on just a second. We're gonna go down to, what's the difference between these two here? Let's go to just full retirement age right there. Oh, yeah, right here. Let's go to current. There we go. All right, so let's make these two things the same. And so here you can see he's not running out of money if all this is structured the way that is in real life. And what I mean by that, if we go to cash flow, I always got to go to cash flow. When he quits the crappy old job, he's only going to have $13,920 a year coming in. That's from his pension. But he's got a pretty significant amount going out. Why? Because he's paying a mortgage in 7 years. So you can see this is his mortgage right here, housing. $33,000 a month, because he's going to pay a $200,000 home. He's going to pay it off in 7 years. So $3,000 a month. His health care too is going to go through the roof as well. So we're showing no health care here. I'm just throwing it in his monthly living expenses, if that makes sense. So he said $1,500. I'm saying $2,000 a month and not putting health care. So anyway, so you can see the health care is not cheap, man. So he's got his living expenses, his housing, and his health care. So in the first 7 years, now there will be a method to my madness. 64, 69, 71, 72, 73, 65, 66, and then it's going to drop off because the housing goes down to just property taxes and homeowners insurance. On top of this, healthcare will drop when he hits Medicare as well. All right, so I hope that makes sense. So his living expenses are $1,500 a month, plus get healthcare, plus get housing. But he's also going to have taxes to pay because his taxes $13,000, $14,000, $15,000, $15,000, $15,000. Why? Well, because he's pulling money out of his IRA in which to pay the tax man. So you can see his net flows. He needs 72, 74, 84, 87, 88, 80, 82, and that drops. And that's all coming from his IRA or his 401k. Again, I'm assuming he's got a deferred account, that 525, plus he has a monthly pension as well. We'll see what it likes if he does not have a monthly pension here in just a second. And then, from a tax perspective, it's going to be fantastic. First couple of years he pays taxes. Look at that, man. I mean, 1.6% to the state, 5.7% to the feds. That's just no big deal. Now, these first couple of years, he basically is doing the equivalent of Roth conversions, man. He's like, I'm going to convert, but I'm actually not converting. I'm using my IRA money to buy a house. So that's the way to do it. There's nothing else he should do in that regard. Unless he got stuck with a big IRMA. That'd be the Medicare premium increases because he make too much money, especially as a single guy. So we're going to click on expenses, and we're going to see healthcare. And what you'll see here is when he's on Medicare, there's nothing. So he doesn't pay any IRMA. Looks like he's pretty close to being, actually, let's see, because his income, it's under $90,000, so no IRMA for him. So this is perfect, man. His total tax bill, if you use $157,000, that's and then he pays hardly anything later on down the road. So that's what I'm talking about. It's going to be tough to beat that, absolutely. Now, if we got rid of the pension, I tell you what, before we do that, let's go to retirement. Let's have him taking. And remember, we got him investing solely in the fixed income, 2%. So that's without taking any risk at all. And it's just not running out of money. It's just not happening. And not only that, he's leaving downstream almost $200,000 in today's dollars to nieces, nephews, old Josh, Pablo, and that doesn't include his house and whatnot. So, all right, so let's have him taking Social Security at 70. I'm not a big fan of this, but we'll just do this. Usually when you're single, I don't really like you taking at 70 by and large. That decreases it because it means we're relying on the portfolio more on the front end, but that doesn't make sense. So I would not take Social Security at 70 if I were old Tim here, single Tim. I'd just take it at 67. But take it at 67. Optimal strategy. Let's just go back to full retirement age right there. That's when you should take it. Blank. Let's see what that is. Okay. Yeah, there you go. So full retirement age is when he hits 67. All right. So that makes sense. But there's really you cannot factor in optimal strategy because we don't know what his investments are going to do. All right. So let's just say, what if he? That's what I want to do. Let's get rid of the pension. What's up there, Big Daddy? Big Daddy Kane out there. It's a beautiful day here in North Georgia. And Finney and Pablo just gave them a fresh bath, and they're outside just enjoying the sun. What we're going to do? Oh, we're going to get rid of the pension. Let's see what it looks like. Hey, buddy, if he doesn't have the pension. So let's zero this out. And assume that 525, he has to make a decision. You want to annuitize it, or you want to take the pension, or you want to take it as a rollover. Now, I don't think that's, I think he's going to have both, because let me show you. He's going to have 13,920 a year of income guaranteed, divided by 525,000 was currently valued at. That's only 2.6% distribution yield. There's no way that's a pension. There's no way that he has one or the other choices. I mean, I'd be stunned, but let's assume he doesn't. I don't think that's going to be the case. Let's assume he gets a smaller pension plus that 525, which I can almost guarantee you he does, especially because he's been so long in his company. You know, probably 10 years ago, they gave up the pension. They just zeroed out. They said, okay, from now on, it's all going to be deferred money. But if you were working here, you'll get a certain amount of pension. I guarantee, probably 10, 15 years ago. I guarantee that's what happened. And so he has both. An older pension, plus he's been able to accumulate, $500,000. Not too shabby. All right. But let's assume he doesn't have a pension. Let's see what it looks like then. Finnegan. Yeah, well, that doesn't look good. All right, so only 1% probability of success. We got him living until he's 90. Let's take Social Security at 70, see what that does here. Probably not much. Yeah, not much. All right, so I just don't like him taking Social Security at 70, so let's just go to current strategy right there. But remember, we only have him getting 2% a year on his money, so we're going to put this in a moderate portfolio similar to Wellington. Yeah, that changes everything. So if he has a moderate portfolio and he doesn't have a pension, he's fine. He's sitting at 70% a year, 70%, still leaving 120,000 downstream to old Pablo and Finney. That's looking fine. And I got him probably spending more than he actually will, because he said $1,500 covers everything. And that includes property tax, so I'm probably having a little bit more aggressive in expenditures than he probably will. But so let's just say he was to go moderate and take Social Security at 70. In this case, he's going to be looking even better, probably 74%. So again, I just don't like that. So I mean, I guess I could, but that's not enough benefit to make me say he takes Social Security at 70 as opposed to 67. But even here, he's sitting pretty, man. So again, we got no income. Here we got no income. So everything he needs, he's going to live on, is coming from his portfolio, which is going to be taxable. You can see these taxes are pretty high. That's not good. I mean, that's not good, because your taxes are 20% of your total income. Nearly, 20%. So, but then by the time Medicare kicks in or Social Security kicks in, basically you're living off Social Security, and it's all tax-free, man. All tax-free. Look at that. Hardly any taxes at all. Now you're pulling money out of your IRA, but that's under the standard deduction, so you're not paying any tax. Now your IRA distributions start getting larger, so the standard deduction doesn't eat all of it up, and you just got a little bit of taxes. But look at that, man. I mean, 300, 400. By the time you're 83 years old, it's $1,000 in total taxes. So the point here is to use your IRA money before Social Security kicks in to pay down, to buy that house. And you don't want to do it in one fell swoop, because if we did it in one fell swoop, it's going to make your tax bracket pretty high for that 1 year. So watch this. Probably won't change a huge amount over the term, but let's just do 100% down payment. There we go. And no term. Blink. And let's see how this works out. All right. And we're going to go to do it. Okay, there we go. Hey, boys, come on over. Come on over. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. So here we have 100% down payment. It dropped a little bit. We got him, again, put in a moderate portfolio, taking Social Security at 67. And we go to the reason for that, why it's a little bit lower than before, is because he pays $62,000 in taxes on the front end. But then he hardly, look at that. Ooh, that might be the way to go. That might not be a bad idea, actually. Look at that. I just don't like that much taxes on the front end. I can't recommend that, because a lot of what ifs, and now you're out $62,000 you'll never see again. But you did buy your house. I just can't do that. I can't do that. So we go to goals, And property purchase 204. He pays it out of tax. We go to accounts. You're going to see the big distribution from withdrawals from accounts from his 401k. He had $200,000 and he's going to take the rest from his savings account. Yeah, I just can't see doing that, but it does look sweet. I'm not going to lie to you, man. Look at that. Woo, pay all this tax on the front end and have nothing later on. That's kind of cool. Not going to lie, but just not the biggest fan of that. But man, look at those zero taxes. Man, look at it from 2030 when Social Security kicks in to freaking 2050. He's paying less than $1,000 a year in taxes. Oof. Anyway, so single Tim here is looking good, man. So now that includes $1,000 a month in healthcare, inflated at 5.5% a year, by the way. That includes a 2% portfolio return if he doesn't have the pension. I mean, if he has a pension. If he doesn't have so it goes this simple. If old Tim here has that $1,100 a month in pension, he can leave his portfolio pretty conservative. If he doesn't have it, he's going to need to invest in Wellington or something like that, a 60-40 portfolio, bar none. I'm only giving you 5%. It's not like we're swinging for the fences here. Health insurance, we got that $1,000 a month until Medicare. And then we had something else there too. How to buy the house. You pay cash with it, but you take it out of your IRA. So long as you're not touching Social Security. Hey, hope this helps. Love to hear your guys' thoughts. We'll see you guys. I'm going to put this on a premiere so that way I can comment. You guys can watch this at the same time. Thanks now.